Let me just see your nose. Just turn your profile to the side for me so I can see. Yeah, nice nose, nice balanced nose. But it is also, a nose where you want to enjoy what you're doing. Keep checking in over the years, whatever work you're doing. Am I enjoying this or is it leaving me drained? And it's a really important one. Also got a lovely jawline there. Good jawline. So that's about... It is about principles, really, and knowing where you stand on things and knowing what you believe in and what feels right to you, yeah. The instincts of the bottom third of the face, you've got beautiful, strong sense there. Let me just have a look. Actually, it is probably your strongest third. It's the water element, really, the chin, which is connected to the kidneys. And the health of the kidneys is on the chin too, but your kidneys are pretty good actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because they're under the eyes too. I'm looking for kind of darkness, which often people have, but you don't have that. So they're in good order, as it were. You've got these beautiful big eyes, which are very receptive, very sensitive. You pick up on energies when you walk into a room. You'll know when people have talked about you. You'll know when there's a bad atmosphere somewhere. You take it in. You really absorb it. Because also, I haven't talked about Shen yet. The Shen is our spirit. It shines through our eyes, it shines through the skin, it shines through our whole kind of aura, really, our whole energy. And you have such lovely, clear spirit already. So that is really lovely, clear intuition that you can call on at any time. Let me just see your ears. This is childhood, you see. Can I touch your ear?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a kink at the beginning. Then it's not bad. Then it's pretty good. And then it goes a bit thinner later. I often see this around the age of 4. Let's go to your eyebrows now. Very nice eyebrows, nice and balanced, long. That's when you're good at having friendships. You're good at you make friends easily. People want to be your friend, and you keep friends easily. The curved forehead is a lovely thing because that's ancestral traits coming through. Yeah, so your third eye area is really very light there. That is the intuitive side. You could tap into a lot more than you even realise, I expect, if you just have a go. In Chinese face reading and in Chinese medicine, I do 5-element acupuncture as well, or partly 5-element acupuncture too, and it's the same kind of template we use. The fire element is all about joy. It's all about the heart. The heart is the organ, and it's all about joy, and it's all about love and connecting on that level. And you're really good at that. You're really good at just being a warm, friendly, open person like that. Yeah. And obviously with everything in this reading, just take what resonates and just filter out what doesn't, discard what doesn't, because it's all about you learning and understanding about yourself and what feels right for you. Yeah. So in all the different readings you're getting, you can really kind of just filter out the things that don't make sense to you or put them aside. Sometimes things will come back and you go, oh, I know what they were talking about, and you realise something later. But otherwise, it's about fine-tuning. Hello. I'm Saffron Ellidge and I'm a face reader, and I'm about to give a face reading to Melissa. We decided to keep the camera just on her so you can focus on what I'm describing. So this is really just me introducing myself and putting a face to the mystery voice and hands on the video. I hope you enjoy the reading and find it insightful and inspiring. Thank you for watching. So, here we are. Shall we set off?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. Lovely to meet you, Melissa.
Lovely to meet you too.
So, you've come for your face reading with me, Saffron Ellidge, and it's the 17th of March, 2022. Tell me what drew you to face reading, and what drew you to me in particular.
Okay, well, I have a general interest in kind of forms of reading people, so I've always been really interested in tarot cards. Astrology is something I've got into very recently, kind of what you can learn about a person from their star sign, their horoscopes, and like the time they were born. And I'd never actually heard of face reading before. I didn't really know it was a thing, and so I think my interest comes from this place of kind of fascination by what exactly it is. And so
you're going to love face reading.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get obsessed.
You are going to love it because it's such a direct way of understanding someone. I mean, we're all natural face readers to an extent. Insofar as we read people, we get first impressions of people, and if we really follow that gut instinct, we're usually right. And you in particular are very right, because very intuitive in that way. Huge sensitivity there. You've got those beautiful big eyes, which are very receptive, very sensitive, You pick up on energies when you walk into a room. You'll know when people have talked about you. You'll know when there's a bad atmosphere somewhere. You take it in. You really absorb it, yeah?
Wow.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Does that resonate?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you already have this kind of... it's going to sound woo-woo, that kind of vibrating on that higher frequency, that higher sensitivity that if you're in a room with lots of discordant noises or lots of things going on, it's probably quite a lot for your system to take. There are probably times when you think, actually, I just need to extricate myself from here because this is a bit much for my system, yeah?
Yeah, spot on.
Okay, so this is where I can see why you want to go into readings, because there is that hypersensitive element to it, the intuitive element, the psychic element, and all of these things that just bring out the inner world, I suppose, and help you understand other people. So just me doing a face reading of you will help you understand other people too more and trust your instincts about other people more. So you have got so many beautiful features here. I don't know where to start.
Thank you.
It's what a beautiful face. And you say you have no makeup. You don't even need makeup. It's really gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
So with your lovely big eyes, you've also got beautiful big mouth, lovely lips. So this is generosity as well. It's generosity of expression and being able to be articulate about your feelings. And you have very strong feelings. I think they come out. You probably find it quite hard to keep them to yourself, yeah? Although having said that, you do have slightly almond-shaped eyes, so you like harmony as well. Harmony is just as important, so there will be times when you don't say how you really feel because you don't want to upset someone or you don't want to change a good mood or kind of change an atmosphere. So although you feel the feelings very strongly, you have been learning, I think quite recently as well, I want to say, how not to say what you feel, because sometimes you get more hurt or you feel a bit too exposed or a bit too vulnerable when you have kind of opened up like that, yeah? Yeah, this is in the mouth and the lips and the gums. It's all sorts of different things coming out when I'm saying this that I'm taking this from. But I love also your cheekbones here. So you've got really strong cheekbones, yeah? And that's a very independent spirit. That's someone who's just really, you know your own mind. And you have natural authority, actually. My face reading teacher used to call it bossy cheekbones, but I don't relate to the word bossy. But maybe you do relate to the word bossy.
Maybe.
Do you have young siblings? Or?
Yeah, I've got a younger brother.
Okay, so you can do the bossy thing with him in a nice way, though. You do it in a really nice way. And so they're a lovely feature to have, because they're a feature that's going to help you get your needs met a bit more. And if you're working in a company or in places, then people will listen to you more, or you can know deep down that they will listen to you if you don't get held back by fear, let's say. I suspect there are times when you're a bit anxious or you're so busy reading the other person, your manager or whoever, that you end up not saying what you think, instead of going, actually, I really feel this is true, I'm going to say it anyway. And you're going to say it in a lovely way anyway, in a fair way, because you're a kind person, you're a gentle person, and you're thoughtful and considerate, so you're never going to be blabbing out things that people can't take, because you can always say it in a nice way. So really trust that one. I think you can probably say a lot more when it comes to, voicing your perspective in whatever work you do. We'll come to that in a moment.
Yeah, no, I really relate to that.
Yeah? Anything in particular that's come up with you with that recently?
Like especially in like things at work and with friends as well. I don't always usually say what I think. I get very distracted just watching them. Yeah,
it's exactly that. Yeah. And yet you're such a kind, gentle soul. I really get that really strong sense from you, it's emanating from all of you in a way, yeah? And just from your smile and the softness of your eyes. So that means that people really love you and they feel comfortable with you and they feel they can open up with you. And I feel completely comfortable doing a videoed, filmed face reading with you. That is the same quality, yeah? You're not going to take advantage of people. You're not going to... just manipulate. That's not who you are. So all the sensitivity is a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing when it comes to creativity, when it comes to having really deep, intimate relationships. There's all sorts going on here, yeah. And I can see a lot of this is the fire element. In Chinese face reading, And in Chinese medicine, I do 5-element acupuncture as well, or partly 5-element acupuncture too, and it's the same kind of template we use. The fire element is all about joy. It's all about the heart. The heart is the organ, and it's all about joy, and it's all about love and connecting on that level. And you're really good at that. You're really good at just being a warm, friendly, open person like that. Yeah. It's also going to mean that you might get hurt in love, that you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve a bit, and you can't help show your feelings. I already can see it in your eyes. Have you had any breakups or difficult times recently?
Not so much recently, but I think with friends I can get really, really hurt from like little fights and stuff. So
and disagreements and people not understanding, like, why can't they hear me or understand me, or just understand that I came from a good place on this one, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we'll talk about this through the reading. I suspect we'll bring in the metal element there, which is your cheekbones again, and that's the element where you know when to withdraw and when just to kind of hold back and let the other person correct their own behaviour around it, and just go, I'll just withdraw quietly, even if it's on an internal level, so that you're not just kind of waiting for them to say something, or waiting for them to say sorry, or to realise they've done something to hurt you. I'll just withdraw a little. Maybe I won't answer the phone or the text just yet, and just come back and regroup and recenter myself. Yeah, I think this is quite an important one for you, because you're very immediate, you're very good at engaging with other people, you're very good at just being very present with people, and that takes a lot of energy, and especially when you are someone who's so sensitive, and when you're kind of hearing all the things that are going on around you as well, and other conversations across the room or whatever else, or you know that someone's upset about something, and so it can be quite a lot for you to take it all in. So what do you do to give yourself space and to regroup, recenter, rebalance? What things do you do for yourself?
I quite like shutting the world out, like especially with music or some sort of, if I'm ever watching some sort of TV show, like watching it all at once, so you kind of forget the real world entirely and you're immersed in something else, like really shutting things out, I think.
Yeah, although you are taking in the stuff from the television or whatever instead. So you'll feel which things are right for you, which kinds of films are good for you, which really do uplift you, and which ones make you feel even more kind of drained emotionally because they're hard going.
Yeah, I could not watch soaps. Like,
okay, good. Yeah.
As a kid, or not super young, but they like EastEnders and stuff, when my friends were watching that on television, or The Apprentice as well. It's just so tiring to watch.
Yeah, it's exactly that. That's the sensitivity you see, that you're thinking, well, am I abnormal? Why can't I do what everyone else is doing? And actually you're just operating on a different level. It's not better or worse, it's just a different level. It's just a kind of, actually just walking out in nature is going to be better for you and more healing for you. Where do you live then? Are you in the countryside? Can you get to countryside?
Yeah, very, very surrounded by countryside.
Fantastic. And do you go out there as much as possible in between work and weekends and weekends?
I did during lockdown, but since starting work in London, not really enough. I still do come into contact with nature, but not so much like hour-long walks anymore and stuff.
Okay, so tell me about your work in London. It's 5 days a week?
Yeah, full-time, 5 days a week. Yeah.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yeah, no, I do enjoy it, yeah. I think, like all jobs, there's like ups and downs, and
yeah, so it's something that's really saying to me, I'm picturing you first of all in your lunch breaks and just go and sit in a little quiet patch and just really be there.
That's what I did today.
Fantastic. So this is where the intuition comes in, going, you know what I really need? I need this right now. Because I'm worried that I'm concerned, not worried, that if you start doing that 5 days a week and you're in an office all the time, then all those kind of energies, all the kind of the electromagnetic fields or pollution, all these kinds of things can start to kind of interfere a bit, or just make you feel a bit out of sorts or a bit out of whack. So really watch that one. Watch your energy and whether you feel different after a long day and the commuting in and out of London. But the work itself, you like, you enjoy it, and the people.
Yeah, no, the people are good, yeah.
Okay.
I'm quite blessed with nice people around me.
Fantastic, that's such a big part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of, I suppose what I'd like to see is you honing the other side, that all the part of you that is so intuitive, because it's not an accident that you're reaching out and doing these readings and that you want to share that. This is kind of the heart of you. You are someone who wants to share the good stuff, who wants to share the positive things, who wants to help inspire other people or help them, support them. And that's such a lovely thing. And it'd be a real shame if that got sidetracked or kind of put aside, because you have so much to give. You have so much to give here. So let me just see your nose. Just turn your profile to the side for me so I can see. Yeah, nice nose, nice balanced nose. But it is also, a nose where you want to enjoy what you're doing. Keep checking in over the years, whatever work you're doing. Am I enjoying this, or is it leaving me drained? And it's a really important one. Some people can just work, if they have really, really long noses, and especially if they bend down, curve down a bit at the end, they can work for the sake of working or work for the sake of earning money, and they can do the 15-hour shifts or whatever. Not so much for you. You might find you get burnt out more easily if you try to do that.
Very.
You already have found that, yeah?
Yeah.
What were you doing before this job?
So before this I was at university.
Okay.
So, that's exactly me. I can't work for the sake of working, and I wish I could for money, but I just can't.
And this is what's lovely about face reading, because it's all about who you are and your strengths, not what other people are doing or what you think you should be doing or what other people have said. Why don't you do this kind of job or that kind of job? This is not even about me telling you what to do. It's about you finding it for yourself with my encouragement of going, yes, I can see this would really work for you. Because you've also got a lovely jawline there, good jawline. So that's about having good principles and a good sense of a good moral standing, really, or moral grounding. What's the word? It's more. It is about principles, really, and knowing where you stand on things, and knowing what you believe in, and what feels right to you. Yeah, and then you've got quite a strong chin there. So this is also where, although you seem like a kind of very easygoing. Oh, she's so warm, she's so gentle, whatever. Oh, you can get away with all sorts. Actually, no, because you've got the stubborn chin, and I like to see that too, because it's balancing out some of the sensitivity there. I can go, actually, no, this is right for me, not that. Actually, no, I don't think I'll do that. I'll do this for myself. So that's a good quality. It's the water element, really, the chin, which is connected to the kidneys. And the health of the kidneys is on the chin too, but your kidneys are pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because they're under the eyes too. I'm looking for kind of darkness, which often people have, but you don't have that. So they're in good order, as it were. And the kidneys are all about wisdom, deeper wisdom, and that's kind of what works for you, what flow is best for you. And this is why I'm asking about what the 9 to 5 is like, or what the full-time job is like, because it's going to be so much about, do I flow? Do I flow in my life? Is it flowing?
Okay.
What are the areas where it's not flowing for you at the moment? Anything?
I don't know. It's such flowing. It's just being very, very busy.
Okay, so it's finding your flow in the kind of all the different commitments you have and how to keep that. Okay.
Yeah, because with all the commitments, there's never any alone time anymore. So.
Yeah, and that's important to you to recharge, I expect, because you give out a lot. You give out a lot with your beautiful mouth and your teeth and your eyes. You receive so much information, as I said, and you really feel for other people, so all of these things go in, and then you need time to be able to filter, process, and then take out again what you don't need, what's not relevant to you. Actually, that's that person's stuff. They need to deal with that, not me. Because that's another thing. You might find you absorb a lot of things, and that might be why your energy dips sometimes, because you've just seen a friend and they're in a really bad way, and then you really take it on board, and you're really there for them, and you really talk to them, and then you feel wiped out by the end of it. That's the kind of thing, to know when to regroup. That's when nature is so good. That's why I talk about nature. If you feel really wiped out, either just go to bed, lie down, or read a book, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if you can go out into nature, sit by a tree, river, whatever you have near. What do you have near? Fields.
I've got
woods?
a lot actually. Really, I've got woods. There's a lake.
And a lake, perfect.
Yeah.
Lakes.
Cows.
Oh, fantastic. So, it's good old farmland as well, but also the lake is a really good one if you want that stillness and that kidney regeneration. So when you're feeling really tired or exhausted, or if you do get dark circles under your eyes, just go and sit by the lake and commune with the lake, quite literally. Just sit there, hello lake, thank you for being there, It's that gratitude. Yeah, I'm going to bring in gratitude practice here because it's such an important one. When we get overwhelmed by things, you come back to all the things you're grateful for in your life and really go, wow, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for my home, for my loved ones, for my work, for the income, for all these different things. And it can really shift a mood when you're beginning to feel on top of it, things are beginning to feel on top of you.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's really easy to forget when you're just being busy and going about your daily life to be grateful for it.
And it's really fun. You'll be able to do it for fun. How old are you now?
I'm 24.
24, yeah. Because usually we tend not to do face readings before around the age of 25 because they're still learning, they're still kind of discovering what's good for themselves. Yeah. Something made me think you might be under 25, but I thought I'll do this anyway.
I'm only a few months away.
Okay, well, there you go. And there's a maturity in your email as well, let's say that. I thought, okay, no, this is fine. And yeah, so you're still at that lovely discovery point when things are opening up for you. But I love, though, is this really deep intuition you have and this desire to help others and to inspire others. So I want to talk about that a bit more. Are you just still kind of in the research and in the discovering it for yourself phase, or do you want to do it more secretly? Would you like to do this kind of thing, readings, the spiritual side of things more?
Yeah, I think I'm currently in the discovery phase and kind of just learning a lot about what I'm most interested in, and also seeing once I can kind of like produce some content what people watching are most interested in as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that the direction I'm going is not the one I expected to go in. I think originally I was intending to kind of the same sort of goal of like trying out different experiences in the UK and then showing it to people for like relaxation purposes or educational purposes. But I honestly thought it would be much more beauty related and a bit more on the surface like spa treatments, and something's just taken me down the road of more intuitive spiritual stuff.
It's exactly that is your intuition leading you. Basically going, no, the superficial's not doing it. It's not enough. It's there as well, and you have this gorgeous face. You don't even need the facials. You really do. So because also I haven't talked about Shen yet. The Shen is our spirit. It shines through our eyes, it shines through the skin, it shines through our whole kind of aura, really, our whole energy. And you have such lovely, clear spirit already. So that is really lovely, clear intuition that you can call on at any time. Shall I make this decision or that decision? And you can do the pros and cons lists if you want, and that might even show you kind of, even if you have a long list of pros, you go, actually, it's the con. I'm against this. I don't want to do this. But you don't even have to do that. I would say just practice with your intuition even more. Do I want to go for this reading or that reading? Do I want to go out tonight or not go out tonight? Do I want to invest more in my job or not in my job? Or whatever, all these different things, because that's where it'll really open up for you. I really see that you're a natural at this, basically. You're a real natural at this kind of... at a deeper level of working, basically. I like the idea of your work and the fact that, wow, you're smart as well. You've got a good high forehead. You're smart and intelligent. You've got that quick mind. You see things, you get things, you understand them because you absorb so well. You really watch, listen, observe, learn easily. You're very willing to learn in that way. So they're very lucky to have you, your work people, because that's, and I think you do enjoy your job, which is nice, at your work. And there's what my feeling is, what you might find is that you'll be doing that kind of work in kind of very grounded work because it's very real in the daily world. What am I trying to say? In the kind of culture we have, but then to be nurturing this other side, and at some point this will come through, maybe 30s, maybe earlier. Some of these things are happening quite fast now for people, the changes, the transformations into kind of, actually what I really want to do is something, along these lines. Mm-hmm. So, but having said that, you've also got this face shape, it's kind of cross between oval and rectangular. And the oval is lovely for, that's the diplomat in you, that's the beautiful hostess, that's the person with really lovely manners who knows how to be charming and to make people feel comfortable. That goes back to some of what we said at the beginning as well. that people feel good around you. So you're very good at parties and things. I don't know how often you have them, but you're very good at parties and making people feel good and having a good time. And the rectangular part is the good manager. And that's where the good strong jawline comes in, and the cheekbones too. So you are a good natural manager, or someone who leads and inspires others. So this can go in all sorts of different directions for you. I'm really excited about your future, I have to say.
Oh.
Yeah. Tell me, let me just see your ears.
They're very small.
Okay, so so the right ear first. This is childhood, you see. And the smallness shows that it makes sense that you've got a steady job rather than just being a freelance or self-employed person or kind of going around travelling, whatever. You prefer the structure, the security, the money security.
Yeah.
And that's great, the financial security. And that's great because that's also you knowing yourself and going, I'm going to plug into this kind of 9-to-5 job, 5-day week, and it works for you in lots of ways because that's the stability side of things. And then you don't get anxious about where the income's coming from and what's going to happen next month, that kind of thing. So that's fine. Having said that, even within that, the risk-taking, you can take risks, especially, the physical and emotional risks. So you probably still do bungee jumping or that kind of thing on the side. Maybe not bungee jumping, but other things. What things have you done that are out of your comfort zone? And this can vary depending on people. Some things are...
Yeah, I have tried to challenge myself before. I'm really scared of heights.
Oh, okay. So not bungee jumping, no?
No, but I did go up... I went travelling alone on my year abroad. So I visited South Korea. And they had this really, really tall building. I think it was like the 3rd tallest in the world.
Oh, wow.
And I just made myself go up it.
Well done.
It was really scary.
That is risk-taking and respect. Yeah, so I love that side of you. That's the kind of the will coming through as well, that stubborn chin going, I'm going to do this, and pushing through some of your own anxieties or fears. And I like that because that gives a strength, an underlying strength, because with all the intuition, it can be easy to be... With intuition, it's so much about the sensitivity that sometimes the sensitivity can be very strong or overpowering. So I love the fact that there's this kind of core of strength underneath. And that, I think, that kind of really sets you in good stead. So let me just see that. So you're very attached to your family. This is the attached earlobes, very close to your family. Although there is a part of you that wants to break away, I want to say, that wants to be more independent. Can I touch your ear?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a kink at the beginning. Then it's not bad. Then it's pretty good. And then it goes a bit thinner later. I often see this around the age of 4. Can I just see the other ear? Because that's from the ages of 7 to 14 or 8 to 14. 8, 9. Yeah, and then it happens again. It's so curious how it kind of goes in cycles. And so around 11, 12, 13 again. What was going on then? Anything that you found hard or that you found you're a bit more exposed or a bit more vulnerable?
11, 12, 13. Gosh, I wonder. I think that's would have been like year 7, year 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything too crazy would have happened other than just school. And
How was school?
Yeah, I remember it being tough in year 7. I had a lot of different friend groups that I kept moving between and couldn't find the people that not in like a sort of scary bullying kind of way, I just couldn't find the right crowd for quite a long time. And so I was kind of cycling around these different groups of friends around the school, and I think there were a few I didn't like have the nicest time with, like some quite gossipy girls and stuff, which was quite tiring.
Yeah, that's the sensitivity again, isn't it? I love that, because that's you thinking, well, I don't want to take sides. I don't want to have to be in this group and not talk to those. I just want to be able to talk to people in a straightforward way.
Yeah.
And it's such a lovely quality that it's such... Not everyone has that. Not everyone, and especially at school, not everyone holds to that. They can easily get sucked into the gang mentality, basically.
Yeah.
You go with the flow there. That's the bit of you that, again, that stubbornness going, no, I do want to go with the flow so much that I don't then talk to these other people, other girls or whoever. And I really like that, but it can be tough. I can hear it, that there was actually a lot of juggling going on, because you you were, finding your way with being friendly and being loyal to the people you're with, but without that being kind of against other people,
Yeah.
So this is where you're so good. This is why I think you'll be so good in any kind of role, and maybe you'll find it within the work you're doing at the moment, when you are supporting other people, or where you are, they know they can turn to you, or just as a colleague, really. But also in any kind of role where you're encouraging, supporting, bringing someone out, someone who's more vulnerable, or someone who hasn't felt heard in different ways, or who feels misunderstood. And there's so much of that these days, isn't it? They're coming to the surface. That it's a really beautiful time to be doing that as well, a wonderful time to be able to kind of go, hey, you can talk to me. And you'll find this in different contexts, whether it's with friends or new friends, different people, people confiding in you at work. And it's such a lovely quality. The important thing is for you, though, to be able to let it go through. So when you're taking in people's stuff, negativity, their hard times, the 20s are just the beginning, when it comes to other people's relationships, things, or work going wrong, or boyfriend things, whatever. The important thing is for you to be able to really hear them, be there, be present for them, but let it go.
Yeah.
It's the letting go that's going to be important for you, so you're not carrying it and thinking, I need to help her more, I want to be there for her more, whatever, and what else can I do? I better answer every text or call every day. That might be too much. I don't know why I'm saying this so much, but it seems to be coming up a lot, this kind of fine-tuning for you. So then you just go, let it go. So that's when you go out for a walk and you take ground earth, Mother Earth, can you just take all this stuff that I've taken? A bit like static during the day, which we pick up a lot of, by the way. That's what I mean about the electromagnetic fields when you're walking through London or going on the tube, whatever. Lots of static. So especially spring and summer, you get home, you take your shoes off and you ground yourself, quite literally, with your bare feet on grass.
Okay.
It's a really simple one, but it's actually quite effective. And there's a whole film about it out there on YouTube that you might find. Earthing, I think it's called, yeah.
Oh, wow, I've never heard of that one.
Just simple practices like that, which, I mean, I have done a lot of work around our kind of ancestral ways, our tribal ways, how we used to be, how there was such a strong sense of community and connection to nature, with the tribes that are still existing now, those indigenous tribes, the San Bushmen in Africa, for instance. And you realise how much of it's first about community and about helping each other and supporting, which you already do. So much of it's about connecting with nature and releasing and trusting nature to really help you in these ways. Mm-hmm. So I know it can sound really far out for people, but when you practice it, you realise that there really is something in it. So if you want kind of strengthening when friendships are tricky and you're a bit burnt out by all the doing, then walking in woods is great, because trees are so good for that. They're for the wood energy, which is the connection to the liver. And the liver's all about doing and work and planning and organising, and it can get quite tired. I mean, you don't have any signs of issues with the organs at the moment because you're young and you're basically healthy. But these are the kinds of things that I start looking for later in life, where people have kind of burnt out a bit more with different organs or with different lifestyles, basically. So yeah, woods are a wonderful thing for that. Trees are really powerful. They're very strong, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what else do we have here? We have really good purpose lines here. That's great. The purpose lines from the side of the nose to the side of the mouth. And that's also, because we get these when we smile a lot, and you do smile a lot. So you have the sense of, I'm doing what I want to be doing. I'm happy with my life right now. I often get people who aren't happy with their life, or there's a whole area of their life that's not at all good or not working at all.
Yeah.
For you, it's more about fine-tuning kind of where you want to go next, or how it might open up for you, or what might inspire you, which is a lovely place to be. Really nice. And these purposes are so good that you already have some here. People try and get rid of them. People try
I want to get rid of them.
Please don't get rid of them. This is when some of the lines, face reading is really good for you to be able to appreciate some of the lines on the face. Not all of them are good. The ones between the eyebrows show kind of liver tension and frustrations, for instance, but you don't have those. But these are good. They're good ones. Because they are about having that deeper sense of purpose. So I know that whatever you're doing now, all these things you're doing now, they're all working towards what you're going to be doing later, what it's going to kind of build into, and kind of what you're going to cultivate.
Never thought of them positively before.
Yeah. And this
Nice.
goes with the laughter lines too.
Yeah, I hate
Please
them.
enjoy your laughter lines. They are really important too, because when we look at a face that doesn't have laughter lines, especially as we get older, 30s, 40s, 50s, it doesn't feel quite right. The person doesn't look like they're enjoying themselves, because they're really important indicators that person sees the funny side of life too, or finds humour in dark situations, and it's a really important trait. And I know you have the humour that bubbles up, and that's really important. So let those lines be if you can, and realise that they're a lovely one, and they make people feel comfortable with you, and they make people feel that they can joke with you and be relaxed with you. So you've got the only two lines, or the two lines that are particularly good, I should say.
That's good.
So you're doing really well here, aren't you? What else have we got? You're a bit of a spender. I think you like spending. You've got quite big nostrils, haven't you?
Oh no.
So there's your secret. You do like spending, shopping. What do you like buying? What things do you buy?
Food.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I really just like going for meals with people, but like really nice.
Really good
food.
quality. There's the quality, there's the metal element coming in, and that's all about refinement again, that word again. And it's refinement in food as well. And it's knowing what your body likes and really going with that and going, no, I'm going to have this, or fine quality food, or organic food, or, happy food.
Yeah.
Happy meat or fish or vegetables, whatever. And that's a lovely thing too, which does bring us back to the purpose lines, because if the purpose lines become very deep or dark at the side of the nose going down to the mouth, then it's a sign of the large intestine getting a bit blocked up. So you don't have any of that, but that can be a sign later if you think, they're getting a bit deep. I'm getting it, and metaphorically, or mentally, emotionally, we might be holding on to things that we should be letting go of more. It's not at all there on your face, so you don't have to think about that. But that's the kind of thing where things can shift into a different level. So, I'd like this chin. Just turn your head to the side again for me, and back again. Oh, and you have the curved forehead, so we'll come back to that. Yeah, so let's go to your eyebrows now. Very nice eyebrows, nice and balanced, long. That's when you're good at having friendships. You're good at you make friends easily. People want to be your friend, and you keep friends easily. So that's a lovely quality. They're on the flat side. They don't arch too much. They're quite flat. So that might mean when you make a decision, it takes a little while. You might kind of really think things over and over and kind of work things through until you come to a decision, and then you make it, and then you follow through. You're good at the follow through, but that's just how you are. So just give me time. I need a little bit more time. I need to make so you don't get people hurrying you into making decisions when it's not right for you. That's the kind of thing when it's really useful, I find, for face reading, in face readings terms, that you have a sense of what's right for you, and you keep honouring yourself and what's right for you. So there's a moment of seriousness there. Yeah, there's a very serious side to you too, actually. Is that a bookish side? Do you read books, or what? You said you escape into films. What else do you do?
I did used to read a lot more than I do now. I think I got put off reading with university and being made to do it.
That does it, yeah.
I used to just love fiction, like anything set in a different world, like very far from reality.
Yeah.
But mainly just now fantasy TV shows sort of thing.
Yeah, this is the otherworldliness, because you do have that otherworldliness. You have that kind of angelic, fairy quality, ethereal quality.
Thank you.
Which you don't really see, and that's nice that you like. Because some people might say, "What do you mean I'm a fairy?" But you go, "Yeah, great.
I'd love
Bring
to be
it
a
on."
fairy.
So there you go. So you have that kind of magic touch. You really do.
That's nice.
God, this is when I have pictures of you kind of being like Florence Nightingale, kind of tending people or being a healer. I feel you have those qualities, if you want to explore them, that you would be good, because you're so present, and the intuition and that desire to help is all you really need, really, to be on that kind of path. So that might open up for you, even if it's on the side and you carry on doing the work you're doing or something similar. So let's go to the curved forehead, especially at the top there. Just turn your head again to the right and to the left. Or to the right, rather. Yeah, the curved forehead's a lovely thing, because that's ancestral traits coming through.
Okay.
That means that there's someone in the family, or sometimes it's grandmother, aunt. I feel like it's a woman on your, Oh, I don't know if it's on your mother's or father's side though. So does anyone spring to mind who you particularly like, either still in this life or who's passed on or who you don't know much about, and someone you had a connection with?
It has to be someone that's passed away, right?
No, it doesn't. No, not necessarily.
My gran. I'm really close to my gran.
Tell me more about her.
Yeah, she's quite similar, and like she's quite childish and fun and very outspoken. Like she's not anything like image-wise of like the kind of normal grandmother. She's got
that wonderful youthful spirit, and that childlike thing. I like the fact you said that too, because that childlike quality is such an important and precious one, because it is the innocence of being receptive and being present as you are, and seeing things as they are as well, without the layers of kind of too much mental kind of projection, I guess. So it's a really lovely quality, and I really hope that you keep that in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, because I know life can kind of bash one around a bit, but to keep that childlike kind of openness to people and to new things and experiences and perspective. Really what I've learned anyway, that our best experience of life is when we have an open heart and when we relate to other people and connect with other people from the heart, which you're really good at doing already. I don't have to teach you any of that. You're better at it than I am, I think. No, you just do that naturally. And it's a real shame if we start to get defensive or if we get critical. That's why you didn't like the bitching at school, the gossiping. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit, because then we separate ourselves from other people, and then we start to feel isolated, and then we start to feel bad. And then, so the open heart is key to so much, in my opinion anyway, and the kind of meditations I do and the kind of work I do, or the people I work with on this, we do so much around how much can I expand my heart energy, open my heart, and be compassionate to all and everyone in a way that washes through you again, so you don't think I've got to love this person who's just robbed me or whatever, but it's kind of staying neutral in those situations. And it's a very powerful thing if you do get the hang of it. So I'm just going to give that to you, do what you will with that. And obviously with everything in this reading, just take what resonates and just filter out what doesn't, discard what doesn't, because it's all about you really learning and understanding about yourself and what feels right for you. So in all the different readings you're getting, you can really kind of just filter out the things that don't make sense to you, or put them aside. Sometimes things will come back and you go, oh, I know what they were talking about, and you realise something later. But otherwise, it's about fine-tuning. What do you do that is creative? What did you used to do as a child?
Yeah, I liked writing a lot. Yeah, and I'm trying to do it again recently, but
that's a really important one for you. You really light up when you talk about that. So writing, doesn't matter what you write, it's just keep writing. So she said. I know it can be hard, easier said than done. And just write and see what comes out. Because the more you write too, the intuitive writing will come through that too, and you'll find that all sorts of extra information you didn't even know existed comes through if you just let yourself flow. That's the flow we're talking about. Anything else?
Creative. Yeah, I guess this to an extent, like I've been trying to do some other more like language-based content on the side in Japanese, and
Japanese?
Yeah.
So you know Japanese?
Yeah, so I did Japanese at uni.
As you see.
Yeah.
And smart.
Trying to do some sort of documentary style, learning about British culture in Japanese style videos. So experimenting with kind of how to show London and like touristy things and how best to explain British history and that sort of stuff is quite fun.
And what is it about Japan then? What made you want to do Japanese?
So back in school, the friend group I eventually found myself comfortable in, so one girl I got close to was in this group of quite gossipy, bitchy girls, and she just was very different and was like, why is everyone talking about each other behind their backs? It's horrible. And I was like, this is so refreshing. Someone's actually speaking their mind. And so me and her went off and found a different group of friends, and she happened to be like half Japanese, half English, and she just taught me loads about like her culture and stuff. And then I think I connected the two experiences quite closely, and then got really into the language at the same time.
I love this, because this is another angle. You know, we talked about the metal element before, and I said we'd come back to it, and this is exactly it. The Japanese culture, from what I've learned, I've not been there myself, has a lot of the metal element, because it's so much about respect, and there's a quietness, and there's a real... there's a lot about ritual and respect and manners. And some of this I learned from my own face reading teacher, Lillian Bridges, because she, although she was half Chinese, half German, grew up in America, or spent a lot of her time in America, she also spent key years in Japan when she was young, so she was really wonderful at describing her time in Japan and how she learnt those kinds of things, and it suited the metal element in her. So it's a really lovely one for you, this, because it's really honouring that side of you that likes precision, perfection, refinement. It's the jewels, the metal element is very much the jewels in the earth, so it's finding the goodness in things. It's as your Japanese or half Japanese friend found as well. Oh, why would you be bitchy? I don't understand this. So it's the politeness, it's all of those things, which are really beautiful qualities, I think. And I like this. The refinement. It's the refinement of the sword versus kind of wooden implements too. So it's, and jewellery, that kind of thing. So you may find that you're attracted to a particular jewellery that's really refined or really delicate, all those kinds of things. Delicate but strong, that's the thing about metal. And this is also the thing that I keep coming back to, along with the wisdom of the water element in you, that you use the metal to cut, to detach when you need to. If you're hurt, if you're around energy that's not good for you, just say, okay, I'm going to put a cloak around me, or a bubble, or an egg, or whatever, or I'm just going to kind of just withdraw, become neutral. And it's a really useful thing, this, because there's so much coming at us all the time. In the news, there's so much darkness in the news and awful things, and we can care about everyone in the world, but we can get swamped by that just as easily, overwhelmed by it, because there's just so much going on. So this is a way of kind of filtering, refining, going, what can I do usefully, or when do I just kind of clear my energy and do what I can do with the people I can do that with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's really resonating. Yeah,
because this, to me, is the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges we're facing right now, is how can I stay centred and grounded when there's so much chaos, when there's so much fear, when there's so much anger, all these different things. We haven't talked so much about the wood element, but that's the anger side of things as well. And you're not an angry person. You can do it, and you might flare up now and then, and if you get hurt, you can lash out, that kind of thing, but you'll speak your mind then, and then wish you hadn't, and all that kind of thing. But you don't have much of that. So, of the wood element, which is that really assertive element. So lots of people out there who are really interested in status, or in accumulating, or in climbing the ladder, all those things, they're not really you in that way.
Yeah.
This comes back to your flow again, you see, the intuition. You see how all these things keep coming back to the intuition and going, well, what works best for me is feeling my way into what's right for me. And that's kind of what it is, simply, And you've got the earth element too. I shouldn't miss that one out, because you've got some nice flesh on the cheekbones. That's why it can be bossy in a nice way, or authoritative in a nice way. So the earth element is about just being grounding. That's the cooking, loving to eat and eat good food. And I'm really glad you have that, because that's your full lips as well. So that's enjoyment of now, the present. I always want to hope that you have nice full cheeks and never let this get gaunt, because when it's gaunt, it means that one's living in the future and nothing's ever enough if you get gaunt cheeks. I don't think you will, but just watch for that one, because it can be easy to, as you said, when you're so busy and there's so much to do. Is there any area of your life? We haven't talked about boyfriends yet. Oh. That's crucial for someone who's so fiery. Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
You do have a boyfriend. And how long have you been with?
2 years and 3 months.
And this is good. This is a nice thing in your life. He's positive and loving, and it's fun, and you have a good time. So I don't have to meddle with that at all, do I? It's just good and lovely, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the Shen again in your eyes that I see, in your smile. That it lights you up. There aren't any kind of oh yes, it's great, but, or whatever. It's just, enjoyment, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
Really lovely. So, so your third eye area is really very light there. That is the intuitive side. You could tap into a lot more than you even realise, I expect, if you just have a go. You kind of start saying, okay, bring any other information I need to know right now, or just tell me about this situation. And it's just another way of reading. It's a sixth sense, obviously, that helps you read situations, because you are someone who reads situations well. Yeah, there's a really lovely kind of sense of wholeness, that so many of these different aspects of your life are really whole. Where are the dark things? Where are the losses or the hard times in your life?
Gosh, yeah, I think lockdown was really, really tough.
Because you couldn't see friends or see people?
Yeah. Like, I do get, like, burnout and stuff being around people too much, but I think I'm closer to wanting to be around people 24/7 than I am to not wanting to be around people 24/7. It was really hard not interacting with people much. And because of the timing, I graduated during I think the pandemic hit March 2020 and I graduated June 2020, so
that's hard.
Yeah,
that's really hard. So you couldn't even have the graduation ceremony, could you? That was just at the worst time for
delayed.
that.
All the future plans were cancelled because travelling stopped.
Yeah.
Job hunting for ages. So the world.
What did that do? Did you get upset or sad or anxious or frustrated at that point?
Yeah, just really sad. I think it was just this they say the dark ages. It was like the dark age of my life. But then the sun started shining again, last April, when I got my new job and coming into London, the city where so much is going on.
So it's vibrant, isn't it? And it's a beautiful time of year now when you're starting to blossom on the trees and things. And that's the thing when you're going down the street, to really clock the trees and the birds singing and keep tuning in with them.
Cherry blossom right now as well.
Yeah. So you bring that part of exactly the cherry blossom, which is the lovely Japanese connection too. that bring that connection in to so, because it all helps you stay grounded and it helps your energy stay clear, basically, so you don't start taking on all the stuff around. You've got such a lovely instinct. So the instincts are the bottom third of the face. You've got beautiful, strong sense there. Let me just have a look. Actually, it is probably your strongest third. Yeah, practical is the middle and the intellectual at the top, which you have it, but I'm really pleased to see that the instinct is stronger. And that's the part that brings you back to what's right for you, and that makes you know when to leave a job or start a job or change friendships as you did at school. So lots of lovely things coming through there. Let me see, what have we not covered? Do you have any questions so far?
I found the elements really interesting, because I assume it's kind of different, but for some reason my image of fire was with wood seems to be sounding closer to my image of what fire was, really angry and stuff. Yeah. I think just red and anger.
Yes, I know, and fiery character. Yeah, it is different in the Chinese system, it's true, and there are overlaps, and some of it's a bit confusing, but my system, and each template works, but just in a different way. It's not, one's not right and the other's wrong. It's just that I work, say, as an acupuncturist on the fire points with you, say, and then you'd be rebalanced quite quickly. That's the aim of that, is your constitutional element, say. So the fire is very much about the heart and the small intestine and joy, and the flip side, which is sadness. Whereas wood is about anger, it's about the liver and the gallbladder, and it's much more about anger and assertiveness. It can also be very strongly humanitarian. Those are the people who are out there who are rescuing people. And kindness is the transmuted emotion of anger. The metal element is the lungs and the large intestine. So it's very much about what is grief, but also what we can let go of. So letting go of kind of toxic air, breathing out the carbon dioxide and letting go from the large intestine, the colon, letting go of toxins physically as well. And so that's where the refinement comes in, because it's letting go of what's not right for you and really enhancing what is in your life. And when we're very sensitive, you might find that you can only eat certain foods after a while. That you'll find in your age now, but you might find later, actually, what wheat doesn't suit me, or whatever it is for you. And every time you really listen to your body, you'll put yourself in a really good place, basically, because you'll not burn out, or you'll not kind of get too stressed or too anxious, whatever, with imbalance. The earth element is stomach and spleen, and that's very much about sympathy. So you have lots of that lovely sympathy. You're very sympathetic to people, and that's why you're such a good friend, a lovely friend. And the earth element is so lovely because it really is the Mother Earth, or the motherly person, the maternal person, Earth Mother, I'm thinking, who gathers people and wants to feed them, and who loves gardening or kind of getting stuck into the earth, that kind of thing. So that's a lovely one too, which you also have a nice balance there. And the water is the kidneys and the bladder as well. So the water is about, as I said, the deeper wisdom, but it's also about fear and anxiety. So every time the fear is really spiking, the adrenals are kicking off, the cortisol's being released. That's from the kidney area, obviously, the adrenals above the kidneys. And that's very much about working out how you differentiate between something you really need to deal with, a true threat to your life, the fight, flight or freeze choice, and those things when it's just a low-level anxiety because you're kind of running on empty.
Okay.
And that's quite balanced on you as well, because your chin is a good strong chin. Yeah. And your ears are a bit smaller. The kidneys also reflect on the ears, but you have that emotional strength in the kidneys, the wisdom there. So when you get really anxious, it's a lovely way to kind of go, well, let's just trust my inner wisdom here as to whether I really need to be worried about the situation or not. It's that kind of thing. So it feels as though, we've covered quite a lot. I do want to come back to the inner part of the ear. It sticks out a bit, which is a lovely thing, because that's the part of you that's adventurous, and I think you are adventurous, and so that travel is an important thing for you to just get out there now that you can a bit more, and see places, go to places, connect with different cultures. That's a really lovely part of experiencing life, I suppose. And also for the fire element, it's about new things. They like new experiences, or I feel like you like new experiences. They're the things that get you going, and that was why lockdown was particularly hard as well, partly because you didn't get to see your friends or connect with those on a regular basis or daily basis, but also because you didn't have the stimulation of new things, different things. You're just at home all the time.
Yeah, exactly that.
So that's a lovely thing for you to just kind of going, am I getting a bit stuck here? Okay, time to move, time to go on a holiday, or just meet new people, or go to something completely different that I haven't been to before, culturally or something. I do actually just want to come back to the filter, Mary, because this is about fertility and creativity. Would you like children?
Yes.
and when would you like children?
Probably like a good 5 or 6 years still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is when it's all about really kind of enjoying your life in the present, whatever's going on around you, making the most of it, the gratitude practice, and the joy. Because when we have that innate joy that kind of we keep bubbling up, and that we don't let ourselves go in any situation where it just gets stamped on or crushed or drained away, then you're in a really good place to make the decisions that are right for you. The intuitive gut ones, again, remember, and never to think, I'll wait until I get this mortgage, or I'll wait till I get that job. There's no particular right time to have babies, just kind of actually just let's go for it now.
The intuitive feeling.
Yeah, the intuitive thing there, I would say.
Yeah, I think I've been working a lot more off instinct and intuition than I realised, but not putting it into words before.
That's so cool, that, yeah.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of things in my life where it's not deja vu, but there's like, this feels right, I was meant to do this, and it happens a lot.
It's exactly that kind of thing, and I get goosebumps when you say that, and every time you get goosebumps, or every time you think, whoa, that's serendipity, or that's a funny coincidence, or that's spontaneous, that's absolutely you on the right track, and there are the flags, the signs going, you're on the right track here, or hey, I'm trying to get your attention here, and you're really honing that beautifully already. Yeah. Oh, it's been so lovely giving you a reading. We're kind of running out of time now. Any other questions? Any other kind of areas you feel like we...
No, I think I've learned a lot during the process of it. I think even just confirming some things I thought about myself, like just hearing them from someone else has been really kind of therapeutic in a way.
It's exactly
that.
Lots of people say that about face reading, that I'm trying to help you kind of reflect your inner self back to you. So you go, yes, I can trust this part of myself. So yes, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know deep down, and it's such a strong part of it. But if you say that, I think, well, why would I go to you then if I already know it? But it's a kind of, as you say, it enhances it, or it makes it bigger, or it makes it more easy to see for yourself. So I'm really pleased you said that.
Yeah, I think there'll be an awareness in daily life that maybe next time I'm doing something, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was brought up, and now
and you start to get a sense of your strengths and your different features in your face that we've talked about, and that there are more things there. There are lots of.
That's great. Yeah.
Oh God, I really wish you the best.
Oh, thank you.
Really
Thank you so much. It was really, I've learned a lot, and
pleasure.
Thank you.
Trust the feelings and the instinct, and you'll go far. You'll just have a lovely life that opens up for you.
Well, I hope so.
Thank
you.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.
You.